I had a bad experience when I gave a slightly negative review to A Star Is Born. The Lady Gaga Little Monster fans of the world didn't love the fact that I didn't love that film. They tore me to shreds for it in the comments section below. Anyway, I'm hoping the Beatles fans of the world don't do the same thing when they hear my slightly negative thoughts on the new Beatles-inspired musical rom-com from Danny Boyle, Yesterday. Please be nice, internet. It's just one bloke's opinion. Hey up, guys. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Danny Boyle film, Yesterday. Apologies in advance for my throat. I've had laryngitis over the weekend and it's why I still sound a bit raspy. I'm still not quite 100%, but I'm just gonna plow through it. So Yesterday is directed by Danny Boyle and was written by the gooey rom-com aficionado Richard Curtis, who's given the world the scripts for Four Weddings and a Funeral, Love Actually, and Notting Hill. The plot of Yesterday is about an aspiring musician called Jack Malik, who's played in this film by Himesh Patel, who's trying to crack into the music industry but having very little success despite the relentless support of his manager and childhood friend Ellie, who's played in this film by Lilly. Anyway, when Jack is commuting home on his bike one night, there is this worldwide blackout. The reason for the blackout is unexplained, but for 12 seconds the whole world goes dark, and in that 12 seconds Jack gets hit by a bus and then wakes up to find himself in a hospital, but also in a completely different world. A world where John, Paul, George and Ringo never became the Beatles and the world never got blessed with the music of the Beatles. It seems Jack is the only person in the entire world that remembers who the Beatles were. Even a quick Google search, nothing pops up for the band The Beatles, just the insect and, the car. So with a catalogue of Beatles songs already in his repertoire, Jack starts playing the Beatles music at his gigs. And slowly but surely, the musical genius of the Beatles starts to resonate with the mainstream, and Jack becomes famous for passing off their songs as his own. It's certainly a fun and interesting what-if premise, but I still felt underwhelmed when I left the cinema. I didn't hate this film, I just thought it was quite bland and forgettable. The concept had potential, but it just fizzled out into this generic rom-com where the guy realizes that all he wanted was right in front of him all along. I've seen that 1,000 times before, and that's the main problem that I had with Yesterday, is that I've seen it done before, there's nothing that original about it, and it just doesn't take any risks. It's a very predictable film, and it feels very safe. The performances are still wonderful. Himesh Patel steps wonderfully into the role of the typical Richard Curtis leading man who's very affable and charming and likable. I thought he did a really good job here. And he had great chemistry with Lily James. She's also marvelous here. Kate McKinnon stops by for a scene-stealing part as Jack's American agent Deborah Hammer. She was hilarious. Even Ed Sheeran playing himself I liked. I love that he didn't take himself too seriously, going as far as having The Shape of You being his ringtone. I love how obnoxious that was, but yeah, he was great. I will say the film does feel like it's promoting Ed Sheeran a little bit too much. I did ask myself a couple times, are we promoting the music of the Beatles or Ed Sheeran with this film? Yeah. I also didn't mind that this film didn't give an explanation to the audience as to why there was this blackout or why the world suddenly changed. It didn't in Groundhog Day, and that film works brilliantly. But it would have been nice to see Jack freaked out a little bit more by this new world that he's woken up in. I mean, he just sort of accepts it at face value that all of a sudden there's a world without the Beatles, Oasis, Coca-Cola, even the Harry Potter series. Any rational person would think, I just got hit by a bus. Maybe there's some brain damage, but Jack doesn't even give it a moment's thought that it could be him. Richard Curtis just chose to ignore that possibility, just swept it under the rug. Plus, there's no consequences for Jack whatsoever for essentially stealing the work of 4 other musicians. There's 1 or 2 other individuals that remember the music of the Beatles, and when they confront Jack, I thought this was the moment that we're going to get some drama or some conflict or some consequences for what Jack had done. But no, all these people had to say was, oh, it's so lovely to hear the music again because neither of us can sing. And I just thought to myself, well, that was a freebie. Just completely gloss over the fact that this man is capitalizing on the work of others and becoming rich and famous because of it. Okay, I just didn't enjoy what Richard Curtis gave us with this film. Everything was too neat and tidy and wrapped up in a little bow by the end of it. Jack got away absolutely scot-free, no consequences whatsoever for stealing the work of others. The whole world instantly forgives him when he reveals that none of the songs that he's written are his. And we're living in a world now where people get crucified online by trolls for tweets they sent out 10 years ago. But no, in this reality, the whole world just instantly forgives him. It's just okay, well, how convenient, how tolerant, how understanding. This movie is way too nice, forgiving, and optimistic. It's one of those movies that says, as long as you're a good person who's pure of heart and just kind to other people, you'll get away with anything. And I don't know, it's just too generic and safe for me. I just didn't appreciate it. So it's time to ask the 3 questions. Firstly, will I watch this again? Nah, I don't have a desire to watch this again. Maybe if my parents wanted to watch it, I might sit along with them, but no, I wouldn't watch it again for myself. Question number 2, would I recommend it for you guys? I mean, if you're a big fan of the Beatles and want to hear their music in a nice rom-com-y Richard Curtis-y way, then yeah, go watch it. But, if you're wanting a film with a little bit of chest hair on it, this film has nothing to offer. It's just so generic, predictable, and forgettable. So my recommendation would be, if you want to watch it, wait for it to come on the telly or a streaming service. And question number 3, what score do I give it out of 10? I mean, there are some really good performances in it, and there is a sweet charm to it in a sense with the incorporation of the Beatles music, but I will say it is very dry and bland and just doesn't take any risks at all. So I'm gonna say Yesterday gets a score of 4 out of 10. There we go, guys. That is my review of Yesterday. But as always, this is just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear from you guys. Have you seen this film? If you have, what did you think of it? My quick question for you guys today is, which beloved singer or band would you like to see a movie based around their catalogue of work? Whatever you think, be sure to let me know in that comment section down below. If you guys do like my channel, want to help me out, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And of course, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you can find all that information in that video description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.